Temurah Daf Tezayin. During the period of time when Klal Yisrael was mourning the loss of Moshe Rabbeinu, 3,000 halachas were completely lost. So Klal Yisrael came to Yeshua and they said, "Why don't you ask the Rebbeinu Shalom to return the halachas?" Said Yeshua to Klal Yisrael, "Lo b'shamayim." That's it. Once the halach is lost, we can no longer retrieve it from Shemayim. Similarly, we had in the time of Shmuel, Klal Yisrael asked Shmuel, "Please ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu to return the halachas that were lost." And Shmuel told Klal Yisrael, Eila ha-mitzvahs. These are the mitzvahs and that's it. A Navi doesn't have permission to say that this is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu meant and this is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu said. When Moshe Rabbeinu was nifter, as he was being nifter, he told Yeshua, "Ask me anything. Maybe there's something you don't know and I can help you out right now. This is the last chance." And Yeshua said, "Rebbe, I was with you every second of your life. I was with you in the tent. There's nothing I don't know." Says the Gemara, that upset Moshe Rabbeinu very much. It weakened him because Moshe Rabbeinu thought that Yeshua was saying that he's as great as Moshe Rabbeinu. And for that, Yeshua was punished and he lost 300 halachas and he had 700 sfeikas that were newly created because of what he told Moshe Rabbeinu. Klal Yisrael came to Yeshua and said, "You better return these halachas to us, otherwise we'll kill you." So Yeshua went to the Rebbeinu Shalom, and Rebbeinu Shalom said, I can't tell you. That's it, it's finished. I can't let you know what was lost. But what you need to do is, you need to take their mind off of this, otherwise they'll kill you. Bring them to war. War will make them forget that they're upset at you. Says the Braisa that at the time that they were mourning Moshe Rabbeinu, Klal Yisrael forgot 1,700 Kavachomers, Gzeir Shabbos, and the Gdukei Seifrim. Rashi explains the Gdukei Seifrim is any time the Mishnah gives you a number, for instance, Chameshesrei Soriseim Shepaitros, Nashim Shepaitros Soriseim, Bechulu, anytime the Mishnah gives you a number to remember through that halacha, Klal Yisrael forgot what that number stands for. And as we'll see later, one of the halachas that Klal Yisrael forgot, and that's why the Gemara brings this whole thing, is the halacha of Chatas Shemesav Baleha, whether or not the animal dies or grazes. Says the Gemara that Kalev bin Yefuna offered an award. He said, whoever could bring back these halachas that were forgotten will receive my daughter as a wife, Achsa. Says the Gemara that Kalev's half-brother, Osniel, Ben Kenaz, he was able to retrieve all the halachas, as the Torah says, Kiryas Sefer. He conquered Kiryas Sefer. These are the halachas that were forgotten. And in fact, he was awarded his niece, Achsa. Why was her name Achsa? Says the Gemara that any man who saw her would right away be upset, would be koyes on his own wife because she was so beautiful. Why was his name Osniel? Sha'no Ikel. HaKadosh Baruch Hu answered him. What was it that he davened? Zimachloikis. One man says that he davened for Torah, that he shouldn't forget his Torah, that he should have many Talmidim, that he should have friends that are not mevatel him. And he told HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and if not, then I will die in anguish. And in fact, HaKadosh Baruch Hu answered him. According to Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, he asked for Parnasa and he asked for Prurevu for Banim. And the Gemara says, according to both Shitas, that these are things that HaKadosh Baruch Hu answers immediately. And in fact, if somebody who's weak in learning asks another person who's a mediocre learner, he says, "Please help me out in learning." If that mediocre guy helps him out in learning, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will help both of them. The mediocre guy will also get better in learning. But if he says, "I don't want to help you," so HaKadosh Baruch Hu will switch the roles. The mediocre learner will become a weak learner, and the weak learner will become a strong learner. And the same thing by Parnasa. If a poor person comes and asks you for money, and the rich person doesn't give him money, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu will switch the roles. The rich will become poor, and the poor will become rich. It says the Gemara that Achsa asked her father like a donkey. Just like a donkey, as soon as he gets hungry, he starts screaming, neighing. So too Achsa started complaining. She said, "You gave me somebody who's like the Negev. He's full of Torah, but he's dry like the desert. He doesn't have Parnasa." Or Gulei Smayim, he's full of Torah, but he doesn't have what to sustain us. Says her father, Kalev ben Yefuna, somebody who knows all the secrets of Torah, the secrets down here, the Tachtainim and the Elyonim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will sustain him. There's no need for me to provide him with any Parnasa. One of the halachas, as we said before, that were forgotten was this halacha of chatos shemeisu baleh. If somebody designated a carbon chatos and then he died, what happens to the carbon? Do we put it in a room until it dies, or do we let it graze until it befalls a mum and then you could eat it? So Reb Shimon says, as we had yesterday, just like the first three chatois, we have a chatos, the vlad of a chatos, the offspring of a chatos, and a Temurah chatos, and chatos shemetzu baleh. Those three are only possible by individual and not by tzibur. So too, the other two chatois, that's chatos shekipru baleh, that the owner had a kapara, and a chatos she'avar shnasa, the year passed by, those are also only by an individual. The Gemara says, but perhaps we have a problem here. You're learning efshar mishi'i efshar. The two last ones, chatas shekipru baleh and shavar shnasa, they're possible by the community. So why you're learning something that's efshar? You could do it by tzibur. Learning it from the three that are impossible to do by tzibur, says the Gemara, no. Since they were all giving it in one shot, and 4 out of the 5 are yachid, it has to be that the 5th one is also a yachid. There's a shita that says that Halacha Moshe ben Sinai said that 4 of them are destined to die, and one of them, 1 out of the 5, was to graze and befall him. And the other shita is that 4 were to graze and 1 was to die. Nevertheless, though it's possible by tzibur, and even though there are at least 1 that's possible to graze, as a gzeira, we said that all 5 are destined to die, and none of them are able to graze and befall a moam. Have a wonderful day.